Dale. I recently had a question about how to make the out-of-the-box Now Mobile application look more like the view you get when you're in demo mode on it. Specifically, I had a question around these applet launchers, which you don't have on out-of-the-box, and then these look a little different in the vertical than the out-of-the-box. Also, it says for me down here in this applet launcher, and then my items down here. So I'm going to show you how to make some of these changes in your own scoped app so that you can change them and then use the application repository to promote the changes between environments. So actually first I'm going to start in App Engine Studio to create my scoped app. You can use the out-of-the-box Studio if you want, but I've got App Engine Studio here, so I prefer to start there. Let's call this my Acme Now Mobile application, like that. Let's hit continue. That's going to create our scope for us and also allow us to later use the App Engine Studio pipeline to publish this through to production. Now you can go to experience here in App Engine Studio and create mobile. That's for the agent app, and we're actually doing this for Now Mobile. So we're going to close out of App Engine Studio, kind of go back, and let's just make sure we are in our scope there, Acme Now Mobile. So the first thing you want to do is go to System Mobile, which I've added to my favorites here, and go to Navigation Bar. Then we're going to open up this record, Now Mobile Nav. And one of the first things I like to do is add the application column to the list view so you can see what app these files are in. You can see the out of the box ones. So we talked about my items, services, information, etc. Those are in a scope called ServiceNow, Now Mobile App Screens, and Applet Launcher. That scope is read only, so you're not going to be able to make changes to it. But there's still some things we can do to customize the out of the box in our own scope and kind of override these. So the first thing we want to do is we want to create an applet launcher. So we're going to go to applet launchers. We're going to say new, and let's name this the Acme for me to kind of meet the demo. Let's call it for me in the title. Let's add a header function. So I've kind of researched this in advance. You want to use jump logged in user profile, and you want to use homepage, search, catalog, knowledge, and people. We want to click body here, and that's actually where we're going to add the different sections on the homepage, which we'll do in a minute. For header titles, we're actually going to open that up, and we're going to search for hello and this long string here, which will show us the person's name. We're just going to actually let's lock that and then right click and do save. So now we've got a nice applet launcher that's going to be completely blank for now. So now that you've created your launcher screen, which is this applet launcher, you actually want to create a new tab to link it to the Now Mobile application. So if we click Navigation tab, we don't actually have the tab yet. We actually want to create that on this table sys navigation tab right there. If we click New, you get this applet launcher. Okay, great. But then you can't fill out the reference fields there. So let's actually close that out, and we'll just go manually create it on the table like this. Let's click the gear to add our application, maybe updated, so we can see what's actually created in this app. So let's create a new one, and now we're going to do applet launcher like this. Now we can fill out those related lists. I'm sorry, reference fields. Let's type for me to match the out-of-the-box name of the tab. Let's grab our applet launcher, Acme homepage that we created, and let's just grab a cool icon. So let's use this user icon like that and hit submit. Now we've got a navigation tab. So now we want to go back to navigation bar, go to Now Mobile Nav. Uh, we don't actually want to create a new tab. Now we want to manually create this map. So let's actually go open that in a new window like that. Click the new button. Now let's say we want the Now Mobile navigation, and we want the navigation tab called For Me that we created like that. And let's just hit submit, and let's close that tab out. Now I've got a new launcher down here called My Items, and I have a new one called For Me. If I click on For Me, it's blank. We didn't put anything in it. So let's put something in it. So let's go to Applet Launchers, Acme Homepage. And remember, the tab is named For Me, but the actual applet launcher page is called Acme Homepage. We just could have easily have named it For Me, but I wanted to kind of reduce confusion and make sure we showed the differences between those. So we're going to click Body, and this is where we're going to add our launcher sections. So let's click Order, and maybe do order in values of 10 in case you want to go back and reorder these later. And let's add our first section, and let's call it My Items, like that. We'll just click Save. And now let's go back to our mobile phone and slide down to refresh and see, oh, that's pretty easy. We added a new little section there. We actually wanted a media section. So to create a media section, we can go to, let's see, the way I do this is actually go straight to the table sys.sg media section. There's probably a better way to do that, but that's how I do it. And you can see right now there are no media sections. A media section is where you show an image or a movie, and that's how you put those in that carousel. So let's call this the Acme Media Section 1. Let's make sure it's type image. So you want to attach an image to this record in order to show it up in the media section. I've got this cool image I made that says, how can we help you, embedded in the image. The image is about 485 wide by 200, 220 tall, something like that. You might could find some specific sizes, but that's a pretty good size to start. So I'm actually just going to drag it from my file browser and drop it directly on this record like that. And now we've got an attachment. And now I'll go down here, and now I will click my attachment and then actually save the record. And let's let that save and just make sure it looks good. Yep, everything's still the way we wanted it to be. So now let's go back to our Acme homepage applet launcher, and let's actually add that at the top. Let's make it like value 0 or 1. And the section is named Acme Media Section 1, like that. And you can see that it's got that little green line, so that means we need to save that record like that. Let's pull our phone back up and do a refresh, and there we go. There's our image now at the top of our homepage there. So there's some other things that were in the demo that we might want to add. You can see now we've added that media section. We've added my items links. But let's see if we can put these vertical applets, our applet launchers, right there in the middle. So we're going to need a new section to do that. So if we click here on order, let's make that like order 3. Let's add a new section like this, and that's going to be a mobile section. So let's create a new one. And what type? We actually want an icon section like that. Hit OK. Let's give this a name. We'll call it Acme Home Icon Section. That. Let's add some applets. So looks like we can't do that for now. Okay. we actually want this to be horizontal. Let's hit submit. I bet it, yeah, it's not going to let us. So let's copy the table like that, leave, and let's go put the table in manually and create it that way. Yes, yes, leave. Let's say new, and this should work a little better not in the pop-up window. Let's call it the Acme Home Icons section. And here we can actually see the applets. So on the homepage of the demo, there were some, but we actually just want to use the out-of-the-box ones for now. You can add your own later. We'll add browse catalog, browse services, and there's quite a few out-of-the-box ones, 342 if you want to dig through them and add those or create your own. We're just going to use the out-of-the-box ones. We actually want it to be horizontal, and we're just going to save that record. After it saves, we're going to go back to our Acme homepage applet launcher, and now we can add that section. So I'm going to use order value 3. We'll call it Acme home icon section like that, and we'll just hit save. And if I just open my mobile and refresh, you can see now I've got, okay, starting to get some icons. Maybe I want to hide the title of that home icon section. It's kind of a silly place to put that. I'm going to open up that section, and I'm going to click hide header and just click update that. And if I go back to mobile and just swipe down to refresh again, you can see now it hides that. So I'd say we're doing pretty good. We're starting to look a little bit more like the out-of-the-box demo. So let's wrap this up by just recapping. The goal was to make some changes to the out-of-the-box Now Mobile application and have it look a little bit more like the out-of-the-box demo mode of the mobile application. We also wanted to put our changes in a scope. So now that they are in a scope, you can commit them to source control, or I'll link below in the description how to use the App Repo to promote the app. Or if you have App Engine Studio, how to use the App Engine Studio publishing pipeline to get your changes into production.